Hi, my name is Katie Ellis with Penn State Extension. I'm a horticulture educator working in the area of ag innovations, and today I'd like to walk you through an Excel tool that will help you keep accurate records of spray applications in your tree fruit orchards. The file has a number of worksheets at the bottom. There's an instructions tab, some background information, and then we have the actual record sheets for each of 4 crops: apple, peach, cherry, and pear. After the record sheets are product listings for each crop. And then finally there's an inventory sheet that will explain a little bit more later on. Let's start with the background information page. Here are spaces to fill in information about your specific farm. If you sell to a processor or packer, there's an entry for your grower number. And then here are spaces for you to list all the employees that apply pesticides, as well as their applicator license numbers. I'll fill in myself as an example. To the right are lists of pests and tree growth stages. These are linked to the record sheets, as you'll see in a moment. Below the applicator list is a conversion factor chart that can help you quickly convert units of sale to units of application. Now let's look at the product lists, with apple as an example. There's a list of product names, along with active ingredients, EPA registration numbers, re-entry intervals, pre-harvest intervals, and use class designations. This is standard information that should be recorded by all pesticide applicators. Additional information is also available, like the maximum amount of product that can be used, suggested rates, target pests, and IRAC and HRAC classes. The IRAC-HRAC numbers indicate products that have the same mode of action. It is suggested that you rotate pesticides with different IRAC or HRAC numbers to help delay resistance to those products. We try to keep this list as up-to-date as possible, but as there are so many products available, not all are listed. There are blank spaces at the end of each list for you to add any chemicals that are not listed. Inclusion in this list does not imply endorsement by Penn State. They are only listed as examples of commonly available pesticides. You can delete any product entries that you don't intend to use. At the end of each product line is a space to enter the unit of sale and the price for each product. If you keep these cells up to date, the record sheet will give you an accurate estimate of your spray costs for individual blocks and your entire spray program. Now we'll go back to the record sheets for an example. Let's say we want to record an early spray in apple this year. I'll select green tip from the drop-down box. This is linked to the growth stages we saw on the background information sheet. If we did an alternate row middle spray, I would check the box here. Now we'll fill in the date, time, temperature, wind condition, and I'll select myself as the applicator. The sheet automatically fills in my applicator number. Now I'll fill in the products along with the diseases I'm spraying for. You can see that the sheet automatically fills in the rest of the cells that correspond to the chemical product. Now I'll enter the total number of acres treated, along with the amounts that were applied per acre. I previously entered units and prices, so these will appear at the end too. At the end of the rows, you'll see the cost totals and cost per acre. These are calculated automatically using formulas within the sheet. Another nice feature of this setup is your ability to collapse or hide columns. Let's say I want to write up a spray order for an employee. All I have to do is figure out how much product to put in the tank for the acreage that needs to be sprayed. I'll enter that number here in the yellow column and then collapse the rest of these columns because the employee doesn't really need to see all these columns. And so I'll create a nice clean chart to print out. If I want to print out a report for the packing house or processor, I'll expand the rest of these columns, except for the last one, right here, because they don't really need to see how much I spent on my spray program. But if I want to check it out, I can expand it and take a look. Finally, I'll take a look at the inventory I've used this season by going to the Inventory tab. I've set up this worksheet to automatically update the inventory after I save and close the sheet. So if I go to the Inventory tab, if I look at this pivot table, the total amount of product I've used this season appears right here. I can see what I've used across all crops. I've included some additional products from the Peach tab, or I can see what I've used by the individual crop. This will be an example for apple. See, the same products that I had entered before appear right here in the pivot table, and I can see exactly how much I've used out of my inventory. I hope this Excel tool helps you streamline